Hey everybody, my name is Chris. I decided to start a little series on some of the things you can find in thrift stores. I've been thrifting for a few years now, and I find it pretty fun, and you can also find some stuff that's kind of valuable. I mainly have been collecting video games and board games for a while now. But I also pick them up for reselling. So I'm going to show you some of the stuff that you can find just in a day's trip. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that you should look out for if you're into it, and just some of the stuff I pick up because I enjoy it. So I'm going to start with some stuff I picked up yesterday. It wasn't all that great. So first off, I picked up this at I believe a Savers. This is a super pad for an N64. It's a redesign, so it's not so stupid, and it's easier to use. It was $3.99, I believe. So I have all the N64 controllers I need, so I will be selling that. Next, I stopped at a random thrift store and picked up a TI83 Plus for $10, which is pretty great. It's in decent shape. As you can see, it's got a couple little dark marks, but that's okay. For the value, for $10, you can just live with that. Doesn't have a slip cover. Belonged to somebody named Feeler, or I don't know. But these are something, if you want to make money, should be on the lookout for, because a new one will run you about $100 to $120. A used one will run you about $50 to $70, depending on condition. So I can probably fetch about $40 to $50 for this without a cover and with those little imperfections. I also have a book to go with it. So this is something I haven't picked up in forever because the market is dead. It's just a game of Scrabble. People have been buying the tiles to make jewelry and little crafts and stuff. I only paid $1.99, which is a little bit more than I'd want to really pay for it at this point. I think in the future I'll only pay $1 less. And I came across 3 or 4 today that I just didn't bother with because the market is very dead. But it's nice. I maybe make $10. I probably have to wait a few months, but it could happen. So yeah, I don't recommend really looking out for Scrabbles anymore at this point. Next is I picked up a couple ink cartridges, one from Salvation Army and one from Goodwill. Paid $2.99 for this and $1.99 for this. Ink is a good kind of thing to pick up because if you own a printer, you know it is way too expensive. I unfortunately have never found ink for my printer, which is a bummer, but that's okay. I can sell these and then buy ink for my own printer. And after that, I found this great game, Splat. I've gotten one of these in the past, sold for about $40. This is one of those games where you need Play-Doh and you make these little bugs. I never played it. I've played games similar to it in the past, but it's a game that some people look out for, and a few people, you know, nostalgia-wise. I only paid $1.99 for it. I'll probably sit on it for a month or two before somebody buys it, but definitely worth it. And then lately, I've been finding Dungeons and Dragons stuff everywhere. I recently sold a 4th edition red box for about $75, I believe. I think I will actually keep this game, even though I think I can fetch about $65 for it, because me and my friends are seriously considering doing a few podcasts or videos of us doing different themes in Dungeons & Dragons. I've never played it before, but it should be interesting at the least. If it doesn't work out, like I said, get about $60, $65, maybe $70 for the basic thing. What's great about this is that on the inside, one-handed camera work, on the inside, mostly everything is still sealed in its original bags. So that is something, when you thrift board games, is very important. You want to open it up. You want to make sure it's all there. So in the future, I will invest in a tripod, and these videos won't look so bad. Next up, you might not be able to see through the plastic, but these are various Nintendo, Pokemon, and Digimon little minifigures. Now, I actually own most of these still, because when I was a kid, it was all about Pokemon, Pokemon, Pokemon. I never had these little Digimon figures. I had Monster Rancher figures. But I had Digimon, as you can see, there's one of the ones from the original anime. I never had little Digimon figures. I had Monster Rancher, I had Pokemon. But a lot of these Nintendo ones I will probably keep. I'll probably add them to my little collection of figures that I have. But some of the ones I don't really care for, like here's some Pokeball keychains with figures. I'll probably sell those. Looking online, you can. It looks like it varies depending on who you have. I'm not really sure who I have here. I got a ton of Ivysaurs, but and a ton of Pikachus. So I'll probably end up selling most of these. I will likely keep I'll likely keep this Yoshi. That Bullet Bill has actually got a broken arm. But I'll keep the Koopa. I'll sell off the rest. That's the great thing about thrifting, is you find things you love and you can keep. But if you don't like it, somebody out there most likely does. So that was yesterday for me. Today I spent about 9 hours in the car driving around to different thrift stores. I'm currently employed part-time, so I have a lot of time to do stuff like this. But yeah, let me just get right into it. So this isn't in a particular order of what I got, because I haven't even opened these. But this is about midway through the day. I picked up this game. This game is called Pirateer. I've picked it up in the past. It doesn't sell that great, but this one is still in shrink wrap. I can probably get somewhere around $50 to $100, depending on how long I want to wait. But yeah, that's a really great find. It looks really good. Next is Polaroid camera from the Salvation Army. Oh yeah, I only paid $4.99 for Privateer. Next is a Polaroid camera from Salvation Army. So my grandmother gave me a Polaroid camera a few years back, because I started to sell all my textbooks and a lot of my video games to pay for school. I'm just going to show you how nice this one is. She gave me a Polaroid camera in the box to sell because she was looking to get rid of some stuff. And I needed to pay for school. So she gave me that, and I found out that there's still a big market for those. People, especially, you know, hipsters and the like, really like that old-fashioned photography. I'm just gonna move along with more. But yeah, I found out they're pretty valuable. Polaroid stopped making the film for it a while ago, but a few people who used to work there started a new company called the Impossible Project. You can see I grabbed a few of these today at various places. Once again, this is actually the same exact version of that other one, except either this or the other one is just an updated logo. But anyway, this one came with actually an empty pack of film with a dead battery. So I took the chances that these work based off of the condition. So anyway, a couple guys from Polaroid decided that they didn't want to let go. That there's still a demand for instant photography. So they started a business called the Impossible Project, who I'm a big fan of. I've bought film from them. I use these cameras for fun. It is a bit of an expensive hobby. It's about $20 for a pack of 8 pictures. So definitely, if you find one and you want to get into it, find one in a thrift store. But if you pay for one of these online, I started selling them at about $25 a piece. I've gotten up to selling one of these, this exact model, for about I've gotten upwards of $70 for one around Christmas. Right now, it's the end of February. They're around the $30 to $45 mark. So if you find these are good. Make sure they work. Make sure these hinges are good, because one of the problems is that if these hinges are messed up, you're gonna have a bad camera on your hands. So anyway, those two, like I said, I'll probably get around $40 for this time of year. This one, not so much. The Impulse is it's not that sought after. It's not that great of a version of the Pollard camera. I likely won't even sell this year, but I know people that buy these in bulk. I'll get more than the $5 I paid for it. But yeah. So on to another Salvation Army. I walked in. Behind the case was a bunch of games, and first was The Warriors for Xbox. So I really like this movie, but from the little bit of the game I've played, I didn't think it was that great, but I also didn't play it until about 6 months ago. But this is one of the few Xbox games that's worth picking up. I only paid $2.99 plus, I don't know what tax is, but it was in Rhode Island. The disc looks great. I imagine it'll work. So then, also was this behind the counter. I paid $11.99. So it's not all that great. So it's games I would never pick up. NBA Street. Halo 2, which I will actually probably keep because I never had an Xbox growing up. I had a PS2 and a GameCube, and my friends had Xboxes, and I would always go over there to play Halo. But I have an empty case, and now I can finally put a game in it. But yeah, X-Men Legends, probably get a couple bucks for that. NFL Fever 2002. I don't know, I'll probably use that as a coaster. Time Splitters which Future Perfect, which I think is the last one. I don't quite remember, but the reason I paid $11.99 plus whatever taxes is because of this game, Star Wars Battlefront II. This is always a great game. On any other system, this would be like a $5, maybe $10 game, but on Xbox, a little bit of scratches. On Xbox, depending on what it is, like what the condition is and how much of it has. So I only have the disc, but I can still probably get about $35, $40, $45 for this. Completed, I think it's going for about $45 to $50 right now. But once again, I got 2 of the sought-after games for original Xbox, which is very unlikely. I actually might keep this Splat thing for my car, because I have CDs that are just piling up inside my glove box, and my glove box actually kind of broke a little bit. So yeah, so that was Salvation Army. So in the future, I will be doing a lot of yard sales, but I figured I would start now with my thrift store stuff. But anyway, so this I think was probably one of my first finds of the day. Gauntlet Legends, PlayStation 1. Paid $2.99. Looks pretty good. It's complete. I had this for N64, and when I first started selling off a bunch of my stuff to pay for school, I actually sold off a complete in the box N64 version, I think for about $15. I easily could have got about $40 at the time, which was 2010. This complete, I sold one a couple months ago. Probably gonna get about $12 for it, and that's after I wait a couple weeks, maybe longer. But yeah, it looks great. I actually also do Let's Plays, and I think it might be a fun 4-player Let's Play, so I might hold on to that for right now. So at the same Savers, I got a silver PS2 with some PS1 Mad Catz controller for $24.99. Now I think this and Gauntlet, I had actually used a 30% off coupon. So if you want to do math on 30% off $24.99, go for it. Plus whatever tax was. So these are good. I have a black PS2 Slim now. I might switch this out. I'm not really sure. I might keep it. It came with a completely wrong power cord, but it fits. So we'll see if that works. I mean, it probably will. But I might just hold out and get the proper cord. So, yeah, there's that. I went to another Savers. I mostly go to Savers. I occasionally go to a random thrift store. But I find the big chain ones are the ones that just kind of want to price stuff and get rid of it. But you will occasionally find a better local thrift store with a local owner. So anyway, I kind of rushed this because my phone did not have service. So I just ended up getting what I figured was good. So Warcraft, the original game, one of my favorite PC games. Let's see, I paid $3.99 for that, and a Duke Nukem 3D Atomic Edition. I think this is one of those bootleg extra levels. It might not be. I might just be saying that because there were like 3 or 4 other Duke Nukem bootleg level things. So I grabbed that. You can get about $12-15 for Warcraft. I might keep it because I no longer have a copy. So anyway, then I took a risk on Level Master 3 for Warcraft II. This is another one of those bootleg, or I say bootleg, but I think it's really just like unofficial. I think it even says like, yeah, unofficial, blah blah blah. I couldn't get my phone to work, but I knew some of that stuff was worth it. Ends up it's not. It's like kind of meh, whatever. I might just include it when I sell some other Warcraft game. It came with Command & Conquer Red Alert 2. I've never played Command & Conquer. I don't have a PC currently. I only have Macs. So I will likely either just give this to a friend who wants to play it, or I'll hold on to it, or maybe I'll get $1 for it on the internet. But yeah, and I also picked up in that store Crash Team Racing for $1.99. I was a PlayStation kid, but I for some reason was never into Crash Bandicoot. I liked Spyro a lot, but it's made by Naughty Dog, one of my favorite studios currently. The Last of Us and Uncharted. Jack and Daxter, the first one, was always also great. And then picked up master levels for Doom 2. So over the summer, I picked up one of these and sold it for about $30 before I even ate dinner that day. I think it's down a lot lower right now. But it also came with a copy of Diablo II expansion set. Once again, Blizzard, great studio. But I've already played Diablo II to death, so that'll likely get sold off for $1 or $2. So I was off in the toy section because, as you can see, with the Pokemon stuff, I also pick up toys. And while I was there, I glanced over and there's just 3 Nintendo carts just sitting there like that. And this is something that I think the employees of a lot of these places do, is they see games they want or they know is valuable, and they will hide it in the toy section. I've found quite a few really great, like, valuable / sought after games just hidden underneath bears on like the bottom or top shelf of the toy section. Because I know most of the employees at these stores can't buy anything until a day or two after it has been priced and put out for the public to purchase. So yeah, I saw 3 carts, and I was like, oh, boom, Mario 2, awesome game. $4.99. And probably get about $15 for that. I think I have a manual too I can put with it. And then it was like, oh, bam, Mario 3, also $4.99. I usually like to only pay $2 or $3, maybe $4 for those, but I figured, why not? The third game was Mario Duck Hunt. Never pick up Mario Duck Hunt. They're literally, I think, 200 or 2 million copies of it. It's ridiculous. So anyway, awesome games. Next, I'm gonna stop showing you my hairy hand. Next, I went to another Salvation Army, picked up another Pollard camera. This is one of the older ones. This is Sun 600. This around Christmas, I had 12. I never thought I was going to get rid of them. I had so many of them. And then they just became the most popular thing I had. I had them listed for $25 each. And by the time they were picking up so much steam, I was selling them for around $50 each. So I got it for $4.99. It looks great. It'll probably work pretty well. I didn't see this inspected thing. That might be because it was refurbished. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I'll find out if that's working or not. So while I was in the Salvation Army, another guy was there. He was asking about inks. So I was like, oh, great. I got another reseller / well, he was definitely a reseller. He wasn't, I don't think he collects ink. He was there, and we were in the electronics. He was scanning over a lot of stuff, and I figured, I better scrounge around, and I scrounged right behind him in a big case of PC games, and what do you know, Warcraft II, $1.99 Battle.net edition. This game's going for $20 to $30. Once again, Warcraft, awesome. One of my favorite series. And Warcraft 2 is definitely better than 1. That was there. And then this was probably the best part. This is Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds Saga. The Saga part's very important. Got this for $1.99. I think the last time I had one of these, I sold it for $45 or $50. Star Wars games, it's like both ends of the spectrum. Either you have something very valuable, or you have something that's worth a penny. So in this case, Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, Star Wars Battlefront 2 for Xbox, super valuable. Also super great games. But then you have your Star Wars Starfighter, your Episode 1 movie game. You don't want to get those. You wanna know the good Star Wars versus the bad Star Wars. So then there's the last two things. Is Risk 2 PC. I have no idea why these games are still being bought. I feel like Risk is something you can easily play for free on Facebook or anything. You can see I also got Risk 1 for PC. I sell these for about $20 a piece. And they're great. So yeah, those have been my pickups for the past 2 days. I thought it was a pretty great 2 days overall. I have a lot of testing to do, and I should really get to it. So thanks everybody for watching. I will likely be putting out a video once or twice a month, maybe more, or maybe once a week, once every other week. Take a look at my setup, my PS3, PS4. I'll probably get more into the history of some of this stuff when I do that. But I hope you enjoyed. And when you're out there at the thrift stores, good luck. Try and remember some of this stuff. Yeah, alright. Well, it's great talking to you. Good night.